Once upon a time, two friends joined forces to bring you the best in horror entertainment. Brian from the north, Tim from the south, each bringing their own unique perspective to the horror community. Movie reviews, Blu-ray releases, beer pairings, games, and more. Welcome to your new home for horror. This is Civil Gore.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Civil Gore Podcast. I'm your host, Tim.
And this is Brian. And we have not been here for a while. This has been our longest winter break, I think.
Yeah, I ended up coming down with the flu. The flu went through the whole household. I'm still getting over it, as you can probably tell in my voice. I've still got a bad cough. So we're going to try to struggle through this one. We will be back with our Season 8 premiere next week. So we got a lot of great stuff lined up, some great interviews lined up. Some good content, but we wanted to get the Discmemberment out because it is now running about a week late.
Yeah.
The first week had no releases for January 2nd, no horror releases, so we took that week off anyway. But we were supposed to come back last week, and that's when I got hit with the flu. So we pushed it a week, and we will be recapping those releases this month, and then continuing on through the rest of the month.
Yeah, we lucked out with that one, but we did say there was no rule ever that the Dismemberment actually had to come out before everything came out. That's like our own rule. So,
yeah, that's a self-imposed rule.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it kind of makes sense for people that are kind of looking forward to what's coming up that month. I don't want to put it out too late.
Oh, yeah, no, it's not like we're going to do it at the end of the month and you're basically recapping what did come out.
Yeah.
But one week late, it technically is not going to kill anybody.
No. So we will kick things off. Again, like I said, no releases on the week of January 2nd, but the week of January 9th, here's what you missed. First up, from Draft House Video, we had Everyone Will Burn from 2021. In a small village in Leon, Spain, Maria Jose prepares to end her life after failing to get over the suicide of her bullied son years before. Everything changes when she receives a visit from Lucia, a strange little girl who could be connected to a local legend about stopping an impending apocalypse. With the enigmatic girl by her side, Maria Jose faces the corrupt community overloaded with sadistic secrets and immoral lies. And this one has your daily dose of creepy crapbag kid.
Yeah, and if the trailer is like anything like I don't know if the trailer is one of these ones where it kind of doesn't give much, but what it does give is super creepiness, and it kind of I'm almost getting like vibes of like that movie The Innocents. Now I don't know how much you can compare it to, but just like if you watch the trailer and you've seen The Innocents, you'll know what I mean. With the kid, kind of looks like it's got that same like stare that the creepy crap bag kids do when they have powers.
Children wise beyond their years.
Yeah, that's always creepy, and it's kind of sad. Like you should commend children that are wise beyond their years, but like in horror, they make them super creepy. So
yes,
go figure. Wow, nothing, no special features on that one. Huh?
No extras on that one.
Yeah,
no.
Nothing. Just me and Tim talking about it. Next one is from our old friends over at Gravitas Ventures, and it's They Turned Us Into Killers from 2022, and it says a girl named Karma was drugged and assaulted by her boyfriend BJ, which leads her to tragically committing suicide. Prior to this devastating event, she writes a letter to her best friend Star. What are the names in this? Detailing the horrific events that unfold that fateful night. Determined to seek revenge against those responsible, Star then hunts down BJ and his brothers and begins to torture them one by one while reading to them Karma's suicide letter before taking each of their lives. So I when it says BJ and his brothers, I almost said BJ and his bear, just because remember that show? And that
I love that show.
Great theme song too.
Yeah, I love BJ.
Yeah, and by the way,
it was
we're doing a spin-off, the BJ and the Bear podcast coming up. So no,
yes.
I'm kidding.
It was back when everything had to have an orangutan in it for something.
Yeah, it
like
did.
They were new or something.
Yeah, like every movie and TV show had to have like a person and like some kind of animal with it. Yeah,
but it's usually a monkey and it was usually an orangutan. And I don't know why.
I think they're the easiest ones to like train. That's why,
Yeah.
I mean, every Clint Eastwood movies. Yeah, like you said, those are great.
Yeah, Any Which Way But Loose. Yeah,
and Any Which Way You Can. Like all those Clint Eastwood and Clyde movies, they were so fun. Like that was like when Clint Eastwood like had that whole streak of where it was like everyone was from the same cast were in it. Like, but there had nothing to do. Only those two had stuff to do with each other. Yeah,
like the whole monkey thing. There was like this whole monkey. Remember that Lancelot Link Secret Chimp and they had all those like 60s monkey things. Like there's a big chimpanzee craze in the 60s.
Yeah, it must be because they figured out like, hey, these animals can be trained and we can use them now.
Yes, exactly.
As long as it didn't. Thank God there was nothing that like in the movie Nope.
Yeah, as long as they didn't chew your face off, you were fine.
You were pretty good. So and most didn't. So that was good.
No extras on that one either. Yeah. So yeah. Next up, we got a video game movie. This one's from Massacre Video, Blood Rain 4K from 2005. In 18th century Romania, Rain, a girl with a human mother and a vampire father, possesses superhuman strength but a soft side for humans. She decides to find her vampire father. It's like the softer side of seniors, but it's for humans. She decides to find her vampire father, who is the powerful vampire Kagan. On her journey, she's befriended by 2 vampire hunters and learns that there are 3 talisman organs, a heart, an eye, and a rib from her ancestor vampire Beliar, which Kagan covets, that will make him so powerful that he will throw the earth into darkness and vampires will rule forever. I never did see this one, like Brian said, but it also has meatloaf in it. So
yeah, I mean, what better can you do? Meatloaf,
yeah.
You know, and it's like, so that way you can really get into the meat and potatoes of this movie, you know.
Yeah. This one does have some extras. It has a brand new 4K master struck from the original camera negative, HDR presentation of the film approved by the director, new director audio commentary, unrated home video cut of the film, deleted and extended scenes, interviews with cast and crew, behind the scenes, CGI making of the film, dinner with Uwe Boll. Oh my god, this is an Uwe Boll movie.
Yeah.
That's why it's a video game adaptation. And trails for other Massacre Video releases.
What do you think they're serving at dinner with Uwe Boll? Is it meatloaf? Because if they've not, that is a missed opportunity.
That is a very missed opportunity.
You know what? I think I changed my dream, Tim. Remember how we just wanted to be on a commentary track? I think I wanted to have dinner with Civil Gore as a special feature from now on.
There you go.
Because, you know, you and I are pretty good in the kitchen. I think we can make up a nice meal to...
Yeah, I'm not good. Well, we'd have to get Olivia to do it. I'm not
No,
good
you're good. You make all those things. I saw you. You made all those good desserts and stuff on the...
Yeah, I can follow a recipe. I'm pretty good.
Well, that's what I do. It's not like I make these things up out of anywhere. Like, hey, I mean,
Olivia can go there and just like whip something up out of the stuff we got in the fridge.
You and I
can't do that.
Well, we both mastered the Little Debbie Christmas tree dip. So there you go, right there.
That is true. Yeah, that is true.
And that is about as easy as you can get. But still, I don't care.
I could still find a way to screw it up. Don't worry.
Yeah. You put in like the ho-hos instead by mistake.
Yeah, if I didn't have the recipe in front of me, I would still find a way to screw it up.
But I tell you, that is a deadly dessert. Let me tell you. Talk about a sugar rush. You ever want to stay up all night for cramming for an exam or something? You college students, you out there?
And people will be like, what is this? And I'm like, I'm going to tell you what it is, but I'm going to warn you not to take a bite, because once you do, it's all over.
Yeah, because you can't stop eating it. That's the problem. You can't stop.
I would literally warn people. I was like, you don't want to eat that. Like, you will.
What makes it worse is because the preferred dipping mechanism is the vanilla wafers were good on their own, and it's a cookie I can't stop eating. So now
so it's like, here's some sugar, and here's some dip it in sugar.
Yeah, and then like try to stop eating it. Yeah, it's deadly. And the worst part is I didn't make it a second time. I bought the thing, so I still have it, that it could be made at any moment here. Which is,
oh my god!
But the good thing is it's not Christmas for a while, so maybe I just won't. But you know what I'd love to do? Make a version of, take a Halloween version of it, because I bet you if you took like something with like one of those cupcakes with the orange icings and mix it in there, you could probably get the same effect. Might have to try that.
Or even something pumpkin. Like, don't they make those little pumpkin delights?
Oh, yeah. You're right. You're right. And you can you sprinkle a little pumpkin pie spice in there to really give it the extra thing. Yeah. And you said you can't cook, Tim. Look, we came up with a recipe right on the spot.
We already come up with a new recipe.
Right there. Yeah. See? There you go. Next one. Everyone's like turning it off to like, I waited an extra week for this. Now they're giving me weird dessert tips. Okay. Massacre Video releasing 555. Or 555. I don't know. I assume it's 555. Usually in horror movies, when it's like that, it's you say the numbers individually. But this one is a hippie killer with a sex-fueled murderous bloodlust. That's just
always the best kind of bloodlust.
Yeah,
that's always the best kind of bloodlust. Yeah, is a sex-fueled.
Dangerous combination, but best for horror films, right? Is on a rampage, and he's brutally murdering innocent young couples. Or young couples, because there's an exclamation point. A nationwide trend of killings with the same MO happens to catch the eyes of Detective Haller and Sergeant Connor. Every 5 years, within 5 days of each other, the killer strikes. Now it's up to...
There's a lot of emphasis in this paragraph.
Now it's up to Haller and Connor to find out who's behind these grisly murders. Who is this crazed, bloodthirsty hippie? And more importantly, what is the significance of the third 5? I don't know what this is about, really. I mean, like, by the trailer, it makes no sense.
No, makes no sense.
I got none of that from the trailer, but
and no extras, so we can't tell you what. Even what that doesn't give us.
Yeah, so there's no dinner with Sergeant Connor or Detective Haller.
No. Every time I see Sergeant Connor, I think of like Carol O'Connor,
right?
In The Heat of the Night.
Yeah,
like that's what I picture.
Maybe I wonder if that was when was this come out? 1988. That could have been an homage name too.
Yeah, maybe. the next one up is from Massacre Video, and this is a weird title. Dard Divorce.
I know, which I swear I thought you made a typo.
I copied and pasted.
And it was hard divorce, because that makes sense.
Yeah, hard divorce, you would think. This is Dard Divorce.
Yeah.
What started with a routine divorce between Natalie Stein and her husband, Tim, will soon take a turn into the unexpected and evolve into scenes of torture, bloodshed, and slaughter.
Well, you're all over the horror scene this month. Cody found that Tim horror movie that's out, just called Tim. But it's like a T1M, so it's like Megan.
T1M.
It's like if you were in Megan, like they made a Megan version of you.
I gotta watch that movie.
I know. We might have to make it like a watch party or something with it.
Yes.
it was like funny too, because I sent that to Kim and Ket that one time with a guy that made the meme where he goes, "Get away from me, Mathregan," and I guess you'd be like Tawanum. This would be Tawanum.
Tawanum.
Yeah, but again, no features, so we have no idea why the divorce is so Dard.
Yeah. Why was the divorce so Dard? I don't know.
I don't know. We don't know.
It's not dark. It could be hard divorce. It could be dark divorce. They all make more sense than Dard divorce.
Yeah, I want to know what the Dard means in it. And I don't want to watch it to find out. Release number 6 is by Mondo Macabro, and that is Curse of the Dog God. From 1977, and is that not a 1977 title? It says, a man looking to mine uranium in a rural Japanese village has the wicked curse of the dog god set upon him. But I gotta tell you, this trailer kind of got me digging this movie. This looked really wacky and cool at the same time.
Was that a pun, or was that like unintentional?
Both. I'd like to say, but yes, dog god dig. Yeah, I you know what it is? When I wrote my note on it, it probably was a pun. Right now, it wasn't because I'm tired. But I'm giving myself. That's why I said both, because I'm going to be fair. I know myself. If when I did this review a couple of weeks ago when I was prepping, I know I had to have come
it's
up
about
with
a mine. You had to have a dig.
Yeah, I had to.
You just had to.
So this one actually has features. So it's a 2K restoration of the film from the original camera negative, interview with director Shunya Ito, interview with Koji Shirashi, audio commentary from Mark Walco and Chris Poggiali. Where did I get Italian all of a sudden? Original trailer and sleeve features new artwork by Justin Coffey. I think he was in something else once, because I know we mentioned him.
I love the name. I wish my name was Justin Coffey.
You would. Like I feel like, although the best name of course is Justin Time, but it's
But if I was Justin Coffey, I'd go into Starbucks and they'd all know me, and I'd be like, "Hey, I'm just in for coffee."
I know, you totally. And you basically make them call your name out all the time. Because you say Justin, and they'd be like Justin, and you'd be like, "What is it for?" They go, "Coffee." Oh, thank you.
Yes, it'd be perfect. We're gonna skip over our pick of the week, and next up is from RLJ Entertainment.
Oh no, wait, no, there's another one in between. Oh no, that is my pick of the week. Sorry.
Yeah, that's your pick of the. That's actually my pick of the week too.
Yeah, so that's what I thought. That's okay. I was scrolled down a little bit, so I didn't see it.
RLJ Entertainment Suitable Flesh. This was on my list to see. From 2023, a psychiatrist becomes obsessed with one of her young clients with multiple personalities. This one has audio commentary with director Joe Lynch and producers Barbara Crampton and Bob Portal. A suitable score, a conversation with composer Steve Moore, behind the scenes of Suitable Flesh, blooper reel, and storyboard to screen.
Yes.
That's good extras for an RLJ.
Yeah, they usually don't put many. But this one's from TerrorVision, this next one, and that's L'Inferno.
This has got to be like the oldest film we've ever had, probably one of the oldest we've ever had on a Discmemberment.
1911. That is crazy how old that is. And
I was watching I'm going through all the Alfred Hitchcock films now, and he actually started out in silent films. I don't know if you knew that, but that's how old Hitchcock films were. But I'm watching one of his first films, which was The Pleasure Garden, and that was from like early 1920s, and I thought that was old. But 1911?
Yeah, that is
predating it by a decade. Wow.
I know, and I feel like, think about that when that was made. Who would have thought ever that like that movie would be like literally able to be just put in someone's home so easily? It's like,
I know, that's crazy.
Like, because back then, I mean, obviously until like the. I'm gonna date I'm not even sure when the VCRs came out, when you could actually bring movies like that into your home. But this was when, like back then, like if you had to be rich to ever watch a movie in your home, because you'd have like one of those full-on screening rooms that the projector, like Bugsy Siegel had, kind of like those where you'd watch it on reel.
Have you ever thought about the gap though, like between like movies from the 20s were just never seen until you got to home video. Like,
Yeah.
that's like a good 50 years.
Yeah.
Those movies just weren't seen outside of somebody doing an old film festival or something.
Yeah, or maybe
see.
universities, you could go and if you tried to study film, or production companies could share screenings still as it circulated around. But yeah, I mean, it was weird back in the day. I mean, but like to think about that, but like this one would be like worth it just to have, just so you could say, here, I watched this movie from 1911. Like on my giant screen, it's like think about it, like
crazy.
When the size of the screen is as big as the year of it, it's crazy. But so this one is adapted from Dante Alighieri's epic 14th century poem and inspired by the classical illustrations by Gustave Doré. Dante's Inferno tells the story of Dante's journey through the circles of hell. And I didn't even have a trailer for this. I think this is just like a scene, right, of the guy eating somebody.
Yeah,
the whole thing was weird.
I don't know what it was. Very, very strange.
Very 1911.
Yeah, so 1911. This was so 1911. I've watched some silent films for the horror challenge recently, and it's kind of interesting to see these old silent movies. The one I was watching today, that Pleasure Garden one, it's not very Hitchcockian at all, because it's about two couples. It's like it's like when he was first starting out, he was still like mostly a screenwriter, and but his first movie was actually, I think it's Lost. He's got like 2 movies you can't even get.
Oh, okay.
The very first one was completely lost, and then the second one, I think they lost one of the reels, and it's never been found, and so you can only get like one reel, and you can't find it on streaming services or anything.
Yeah,
so there's like 2 of his movies you can't even get.
Oh,
anymore,
wow,
but that's crazy.
That made me think. I want to say I think we had a similar task for this on a horror challenge. Because I remember I watched a silent film. I don't know if we actually that was the criteria per se, or was it a year we had to get, like a really old movie, and it just
like a 20s,
yeah, and it happened to be that. But I'm thinking we make that, maybe that's one of the objectives of the horror challenge. You have to watch a silent horror film.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, there's some neat ones out there. I remember a couple I watched for the horror challenge I really liked.
Yeah,
really
cool.
Cool.
Was it the original Nosferatu? Wasn't that silent? Like
right? Yeah. The original one was, yeah. And I watched one where these people got walled up in this thing, like this emperor walled them up inside of a room or something. It was really cool. I don't know. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, there's some good ones out there. That would be a good one to force people out of their comfort zone for sure.
Yeah.
Our last one for January 9th is our pick of the week, and this one's from Mondo Macabro, and it's called The Inferno.
Which is funny, because we just had L'Inferno, and now this is The Inferno.
Yeah, this is The Inferno from 1979, so a full, 68 years later. And this one looks, I know why Brian picked this one. I picked it for the same reason. It's just completely nuts looking.
Yeah.
Hell manifests itself through the sins, shame, and desires of an upper-class rural family and a mother's grief from beyond the grave. I mean, this trailer has everything.
It's like Stefan. It's like,
yeah, this trailer has everything. It's got boobs, that thing where there's a birth of a weird-looking baby, Formula One racing.
Yeah. Oh, what was the name he always would say? Like in the Stefan skit, remember? It was like... Yeah. There was like a celebrity name he'd say. Yes. I can't remember it now. I haven't seen a Stefan skit in forever.
Oh my god, I love those. I live.
Oh, don't forget Stefan. The giant people.
Oh, a giant.
Weird, random giant people. And Formula One racing, too. They had
Oh, yeah.
So.
Has a new 2K restoration of the film with original camera negative. Interview with writer filmmaker Hiroshi Takahashi. Interview with filmmaker Koji Shirashi.
Oh, he's back. Oh, it must be a Mondo Macabro thing this month. Yeah.
Original trailer, optional subtitles, and guess what? Who else is back?
Yeah,
and he brought coffee. Justin Coffee is back with new sleeve artwork.
Yes, he did. Speaking of Saturday Night Live skits, though, it's funny. I made my mother-in-law laugh because I showed her remember the sketch of "You like it a juice? You like it a juice?
You like it a juice?
Because you like it a juice? Because my father-in-law had mentioned it, and he liked the juice on the meat, and so I kept saying that, and nobody understood what I was saying, so I felt the obligation to show them the sketch, and it went over.
Oh, I would have known instantly what you were talking.
Oh, you would have, yes, you.
Oh yeah,
but you're bizarre like me, so you of course you'd know
exactly.
That.
So, to recap the week of January 9th, we had Everyone Will Burn from 2021. They Turned Us Into Killers 2022. Blood Rain 4K from 2005. 555 from 1988. Dard Divorce from 2007, Curse of the Dog God from 1977, Suitable Flesh from last year, La Inferno from 1911, and The Inferno, our pick of the week, from 1979.
Yes.
January 16th, a fairly short week, only 4 releases this week. There's a Boar Steelbook coming out if you're into Boar.
What is that? Was that old movie Boar?
I guess it's not Hogzilla. I can tell you.
Yeah, that we need a Steelbook for though.
Yeah. We're going to skip over our pick of the week and go right to a full moon feature, Demonic Toys Jack Attack from last year. I want to see this one because I'm like, whenever Full Moon releases like a new entry in the Puppet Master series or the Demonic Toys series, I'm like all over it. This one is a young orphan girl without the ability of speech finds that she's been gifted with the notorious Jack-in-the-Box from the Demonic Toys. So he's getting his own feature like they're doing with the Puppet Masters.
Yeah, and this one, what's weird is it didn't look as campy as they usually looked. It actually looked like they were going like full like horror on this.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely down for it.
Yeah,
it looks pretty crazy.
Well, I still subscribe every year to the Full Moon streaming service, which is I still one of my favorites out there because they always will add these like pretty close to the Blu-ray release so that you'll always be able to catch everything, and they just throw a ton of stuff on there. It's a large library, and they don't seem to like really remove stuff, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, they have there's always something interesting on there to watch, I find.
Yeah, I love that. I will sing their praises all the time. $60 a year, totally worth it for Full Moon.
Yeah. And you usually get a gift with it too, like.
Well, yeah, when you first sign up, I thought I was getting a gift yearly, but that was not the case. But you do get discounts every once in a while, and you get a newsletter with it, and they'll send you stuff. So you can always get coupon percentages off on like merch from their store too. So they're just. I mean, I will support them till the day I die. They
have really good customer support.
Oh my god, they're the best. Yeah, you like. Well, I think we told that story where like I meant to add something to my order, and the guy like bent over backwards to make sure it got added. It's really good.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah.
This one does have some extras. It has vintage Full Moon features trailers, original Baby Oopsie video zone, original Dollman versus Demonic Toys video zone, original Demonic Toys video zone, and official trailer. And if you haven't watched the Baby Oopsies, they're great.
Yeah,
I watched those recently. They're awesome. So yeah. Definitely love Full Moon stuff.
Yes. And then we cut to Synapse Films, and this is Blood Feast in 4K, and this is the 2016 one. It says Fuad Ramses and his family have moved from the United States to France, where they run an American diner.
Okay.
Well, in fairness, if you lived in New York originally, there's a diner on every block, so it is a crowded business. So maybe France, there's not many diners. I don't know. So since business is not going too well, Fuad also works night shifts at a museum of ancient Egyptian culture. During these long, lonely nights, he is repeatedly drawn to a statue. Remember from like Christmas? During oh God, with the tangents we take, I swear. Lonely nights, he is repeatedly drawn to a statue representing the seductive ancient goddess Ishtar. Wait, isn't this? This is like what was the other one we watched with Ishtar in it? And
it wasn't Ishtar.
It wasn't? Oh, no, the movie.
No,
yeah, it wasn't.
What was
the one? Blood
Ishtar.
Diner. Yeah, Blood Diner.
Blood Diner,
is this like almost it's very similar.
They're all like related.
Yeah, okay. He becomes more and more allured by the goddess as she speaks to him in visions, eventually succumbs to her deadly charms, and after this pivotal night, Fuad begins a new life in which murder and cannibalism become his daily bread. That's like one of those things, you know, those like phrases we like.
Yes.
It's his daily bread. He starts to prepare a ritual feast to honor his new mistress, a lavish affair dripping with blood, organs, and intestines of human victims, because the blood was all caps. As butchered bodies are heaped upon the altar of Ishtar, Fuad slowly slips further into madness until he is no more than the goddess's puppet, and she thirsts for blood of Fuad's wife and daughter too.
I'll tell you another bread phrase. I don't know if it's up north, but down south, it's like, well, he knows which side of the bread hit, or, oh God, I just messed it up.
Yeah.
Well, he knows which side his bread is buttered. You heard that one?
I think so, yeah, but
yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I just totally screwed.
Yeah, speaking of phrase things like that, I look up, Tim, when you get a chance, little tangent here. If you ever hear the comedian Tom Segura, he's really good buddies with like Bert Kreischer. They do that podcast together, Two Bears, One Cave.
I probably have, yeah. I probably saw it.
He's got amazing stand-up, but he's got a bit. Just look up the bit he does, and you can find it on Spotify, so I can always send it to you if you have trouble doing it, called It's Your Thing. because he does, I think, he does this whole bit about how he hates when people take something that everyone does and say, oh yeah, no, it's my thing. He's like, walking, it's my thing. He goes, no, it's not. Everyone walks. And then he does a really hilarious bit on it. It's one of the best bits I've heard. It's like, it's short. It's like maybe like 4-minute bit, but it's classic. So you got to look that up. It's great. But this has a lot of good features on it. It's got an original uncut version of the film available for the first time in USA, which is good. It's got an Indiegogo promotional teaser, theatrical trailer, making a featurette, Chili Con Curtis Tonight music video. Not sure I know what that is. A Blood Feast red carpet premiere 2018 and Blood Feast scare cam.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Because I believe the original Blood Feast, I believe Blood Diner was based off the original Blood Feast.
It was, right? Yeah.
And
it's
now
hard to
this
keep
is a
track of these when they do these like this.
And now this is like an official remake of the original Blood Feast, I think. So I didn't know this actually existed, so I'm going to have to check this one out for sure, because I didn't realize it was another entry in the Blood Feast dynasty, or whatever this is.
Yeah, it's very loosely all connected, right, I think?
Yeah. Unearthed Films is up for our last release this week before we get to our pick of the week, and it's called Mexico Barbaro 2 from 2017, which I need to look up the first one of these, because this is an anthology. In this new horror anthology, 9 Mexican directors come together to tell stories about the most brutal, ruthless, and bizarre Mexican traditions and legends. This one looks crazy.
Yeah.
It's in Spanish with English subtitles. Bolas de Fuego featurette, Exodancia featurette, Juan Soldado featurette, No Te Duermas featurette. Sorry, I take German, not Spanish.
I feel like these are all the directors.
Yes, Vitriol featurette, Stills Gallery, and theatrical trailer.
Yes. Yeah, this trailer looks nuts, by the way. And I want to say one of these is on Tubi. I don't know if it's 1 or 2, but I did see it. But the pick of the week, I think when you hear it, is a no-brainer, because just the movies itself are like very Tim and I centric, and then the fact that it's got a ton of special features on it is a good one. And this one it's by Film Masters, which I believe we've had before. It's a double feature. It's The Devil's Partner and Creature from the Haunted Sea. It says, an old hermit makes a pact with the devil and is resurrected as a young man. He poses as Nick Richards and begins practicing black magic in a hermit's shack. In sinister ceremonies involving sacrificial goats, Nick is able to transform into demonic animals and wreak havoc in a small town. There's another one of our favorites. Wreak havoc. Yes. Yeah. That's what, when we get our merch store refreshed again, I think that's what we need to do, is make shirts of our favorite phrase, like with a list of all of them, like wreak havoc, running rampant. Yeah, like all those. The village sheriff and doctor begin to get suspicious after a series of deaths and are shocked as their horrifying fears are confirmed. Ed Nelson gives an eerie performance as a devil's partner in this ghastly tale. Now, it only gives that one, but you get 2 movies with this, which is not really in the description, and that's Creature from the Haunted Sea, which is kind of like a bonus film that they just throw on there.
Which I've heard of that movie. That's like
that one I've heard of.
Famous movie,
and I've seen the still, because when I watched it, and the creature is so laughably bad in it.
Yeah,
and I remember seeing it in clips of something, and I don't remember what I saw it from. It was either one of those. It must have been one of those horror documentaries. At one point, not the David Weiner ones, but those are, because those are more current. But it was in one of those like things. I can't remember what from, but I know I've seen that like sequence that I saw in this trailer. But this has actually got a 4K restoration from the original 35 millimeter archival elements, which that's got to be interesting to see, because this movie, like, from the 60s, it's not that ridiculously hard to imagine, but if you look at the quality of the trailer, it's got to be pretty impressive. Of course, the bonus film, as we mentioned, Creature from the Haunted Sea. It's got the TV version of Devil's Partner on it, and the theatrical version of Creature from the Haunted Sea. Extended TV version of A Creature from the Haunted Sea also on there. So you're basically getting this movie. Not only are you getting a bonus movie, but like 2 forms of it, which is really nice. New interview with Roger Corman on the formation of the film group. New audio commentary for The Devil's Partner is by, why does it say it like that? Is by Larry Stroth, James Gonis, Sean Sheridan, and Matt Weinhold of the Monster Party podcast. I think Civil Gore would have been good for that, but okay. And then they do it again. I'm not going to read their names. Oh, no, it's different people. Sorry. New theatrical lens commentary for Creature from the Haunted Sea is by fan favorite Tom Weaver, with contributions from Roger Corman, Kinta Zatruch, and Larry Blameyer, which we've had on here before as a film historian, but he's not in this case. New Hollywood Intruders, the film group story, Part 3 by Ballyhoo Motion Pictures. Tim,
Ballyhoo.
give him an old ballyhoo and get the picture. Okay. Recut trailers based on the original theatrical trailers. Original Creature from the Haunted Sea theatrical trailer from the 16mm archival elements scanned into 4K. Oh my God. That's a big step up. Full essay for The Devil's Partner by author Mark McGee. How many words do you think they gave him on the essay? Like, they said, make a 300-word essay. Insert booklet with essays by Tom Weaver and Jackson Cooper. Why is there so much homework in this disc? But
I know. I hate essays.
I know.
Oh
or the essay question on the back. That was the worst, right? In school, when you took a test, you thought you were done, and the last page had an essay question. That was
I had tricks for those. You could really pad them out.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. I was the king of padding. But still, it's like...
All right, so to recap the week of January 16th, we only had 4 releases. We had Demonic Toys Jack Attack from Full Moon from last year, Blood Feast 4K from Synapse from 2016, Mexico Barbaro 2 from 2017, and our pick of the week from Film Masters, The Devil's Partner, and Creature from the Haunted Sea 1961 double feature. All right, January 23rd, another short week, only 1 release, and of course it is our pick of the week because it's one by default, even though I don't really particularly care for this movie. This is from Shout Factory, and the disc title is Thinner from 1996, based on the Richard Bachman novel, also known as Stephen King. A lawyer is cursed by a gypsy to lose weight and lose weight and lose weight. This was, like Brian said, one of his favorite books, but the movie was a letdown. I kind of felt the same way.
Yeah,
this was one of the first.
So good.
Oh yeah, this was one of the first Stephen King books I ever read because it was at my dad's.
Mine too.
Bunch of Stephen King.
One of my full ones. Like I think Salem's Lot was the first, and then I really didn't read many for a while, and then I read I think we said Cycle of the Werewolf. I read, and then I think I went back to read this one because Cycle of the Werewolf got me back into wanting to read Stephen King and not just watch his movies. And I think this was the next one I happened to grab, and I loved this. I had the movie literally imagined in my head. I read this book multiple times, and so then when they finally were going to release the movie, I was ecstatic, and I was and nothing against the cast in this. I thought
it should have been a good movie.
It should have been. It had every element needed to do it. I don't know where it went wrong because Robert Burke, who I've actually met in person, he's one of the nicest people I've met that's been in movies too. And he and so I was, when I saw that he was in it, I was really glad, and I thought he was really good. So it wasn't him. I'm not really sure what was wrong about it. I mean, maybe I'd watch it again. I give it
Tom Holland directing.
Yeah, you got Tom Holland directing.
You got a solid director.
You got
Fright Night, Child's Play.
Yeah, you got Joe Montana in it. You got Bethany Joy Lenz, who's been in a ton of things. I think she's now almost. She was great in Dexter. So if you look at this cast, there's no way this should have not worked. I don't know. You know what? I almost want to watch it again to see why I didn't like it. Maybe I can pinpoint it now. But I just remember being so disappointed after reading the book.
Yeah, and I haven't seen it in years, so I mean,
me too.
It probably deserves a second chance. Yeah, but
and I mean, if you think about it, if you Tom Holland even worked on the screenplay, so I really don't know why it was I don't know. I mean, then again, I think a lot of people feel this way. Stephen King's books, I think are one level, and his movies are usually they're so polarizing. I feel when you actually get a Stephen King movie, some people will love them, and some people, I don't know. If you read the book, it's not the same.
Yeah, he always. Well, I also think, and I think some of it is Stephen King's fault because I think he's never had he's never had any real quality control over his adaptations. I don't think he really cares. His books are his books, and those are his babies. But as far as the movie adaptations, I've just never seen him really put a lot of interest in how good they are.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I think we got weighed down with a bunch of people just buying the rights to his stuff and just doing it that weren't really cut out for it. I think only recently have you seen people go back and really try to make good movies out of his work. Of course, It.
Yeah.
And
well, wasn't there a thing where he was selling it was the rights were being sold for $1 or something, or some kind of?
He does that for stage productions.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah, he'll do that for stage productions.
Yeah. But I mean, for $1. And it's not all the movies are like that. I mean, I love Carrie. I mean, Carrie's incredible. I love the Salem's Lot miniseries.
Well, when you got And that's why Thinner's surprising, because you had a really good director.
And a good director, good cast, and a great story. So where did it go wrong? I'd love to see it.
But if you look at like the best Stephen King adaptations have been like super good directors, like Brian De Palma or Stanley Kubrick, which even though Stephen King hates
I know, and he hates The Shining, because basically, if you do read Shining, which I think I'm due for, like, after I was listening to Spooky Chicks and Horror Flicks, they did a great job on their Shining episode.
Yeah.
And I actually wrote to them and told them, I said, it's really hard when you as a podcast that does a review for a movie that is so well known, so popular, and so reviewed already that like literally you can't find someone that doesn't have an opinion on this movie. So like, and I gave him a good compliment. I said, you guys did a great job on it. It's hard. Those are hard because I said you and I always have the trouble with those things, because
they're my least favorite. Like when we do a Slaycation, the least favorite episodes are the ones where I have to talk about the first one in the franchise, which is usually the classic. Because I'm like, what am I going to say about this movie that every other horror fan listening to this podcast doesn't already know a million times over and have heard a million different variations of? And I always feel so like dumb talking about these movies that everybody already knows. It's only when you get into stuff like, Pumpkinhead 4 that I actually have a great time talking about it.
And those should earn us awards for some of those. Although, no, that was the one we liked, right? That was the Hatfield McCoy one.
Yeah, that one we liked. Pumpkinhead 3,
I think more like Howling, like 7 is the one we should get an award on. It's funny when you said that, like, all I could think of is like when we were talking of Steve Martin going, "Do you think so?" Like when we give like one of our opinion on that.
Exactly. That's what I feel like people are saying. Oh yeah, Halloween's an absolute classic. Yeah. Do you think so?
Yeah,
I can see the people out there in podcast land just like, you dumbass. Of course it is.
That's totally so. Yeah, so it's kind of funny. I think I'm like, so anyway. Like I did go on a tangent there, but I want to go back to really like read The Shining because I've seen the movie like a million times and read the book once years and years ago. So I want to reread it and like because from I vaguely remember it being different, but like I saw the movie first. And so
it's a lot different.
So it's a lot, and like I remember the TV series, which was kind of funny, which I didn't like as much. Remember the version they redid? That I did,
which was more faithful to the book.
It was, but I didn't like it as much. But sometimes things just don't translate well into visual things, where the book is like it's there's key things that will like trigger your own imagination of it. Maybe that's why Thinner I had a problem with it, because I read the book multiple times because I liked it so much when I first read it that I had my own movie of it in my head, and so maybe that's what did it.
That's what always bothered me. Now I love Idris Elba. I love Idris Elba.
Oh yeah,
but I was very vocal, like when they cast him in the Dark Tower movie. I was like, I don't like this casting. And then, of course, everybody's going, "Oh, you're racist." And I'm like, no. Let me tell you the reason why I don't like the casting is because in the Dark Tower series, which went for how many books? 7, 8, 9, I don't know how many books there were. Stephen King is very descriptive over what Roland looks like. I mean, it's you get this. I mean, from the time I've been reading these books for literally decades, I've been told Roland looks like almost like a Clint Eastwood type figure. I mean, he's got the same look and everything. So you can't take a character that's been told they look like this for the last 30 years and then completely change it and expect people not to disagree with the casting. I mean, it's not a race thing at all.
No, it's.
Like I said, I love Idris Elba. He's one of my favorite actors. It's not a race thing. You're taking the description of the character and completely changing it from what it's been in the book for the past 30 years. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I'm not even going to criticize, people could criticize directors saying, well, it's his vision. I'm like, but here's the thing. You can't blame someone like you who's an avid reader of the book and extremely, love the series and has the vision of what it should be in your head and then not be able to criticize it. You should absolutely be able to say that because you've read the books and you've had this vision of that character in your head for years and years and multiple times you read it and it's playing the movie. Essentially the movie is playing in your head. So, you know what? Then you can't cast something so drastically different from the book that people are used to, that love, and then not expect criticism for it.
Yeah, and it's different. And it's there's diversity in casting that I don't mind at all. Like there's like some diverse, like very radically different diverse casting in like the Wheel of Time series that came out on Amazon. And I had no problem with it because those characters weren't as, in the literary fashion, were not as fully like described for decades as Roland was in the Dark Tower series. This is a different, I mean, in that case, no, it doesn't really matter what race they are.
Yeah.
Or how they look, to an extent. But, you got to, at some point, come on, you got to make at least a half-hearted effort to make the character look like what people have been envisioning for 30 years in their mind. Like, you wouldn't cast, like, I mean, would you cast Roland? I'd be just as upset if they cast Roland as, like, a rail fin, red-haired, Irish guy, or something. Like, it doesn't match what's explicitly laid out in the book. So I don't know. It was one of those things that like really bugged me. But that movie had way more problems in the cast.
Yeah, like are you gonna like it? Let's say they did like a reboot completely of the Christmas Story. You're not gonna cast John Lithgow as Ralphie.
It's like.
Although I'd love to see that as a sketch, like a Saturday Night Live sketch. But yeah, I mean, John Lithgow is arguably one of the best actors in our generation for sure. And I feel like if anyone could be so miscast yet pull it off, it'd probably be him.
Well, it's just like Jack Reacher. This is a great example of why it's not a race thing. In Jack Reacher, when Tom Cruise played Jack Reacher, and everybody was like, "What are you talking about?" Like in the Jack Reacher novels, he's like this huge, buff, blonde-haired guy. Why are you casting Tom Cruise? And people were rightly upset about that. And then they went back and with the Reacher series, they actually fixed it and hired a better actor to play him that looked more suitable to the book. So I don't know.
Well, you got like, okay. I mean, there's really no secret why this happens. Hollywood movies know what will put the money and the butts in the seats. So they're gonna rather. They look towards that. They look for that's why it's like some of these things I almost wish instead of big budget features, I wish these things would be more independent films so they'd cast someone that actually would maybe fit that role better, But,
I don't know.
Anyway, what a tangent for a pick of the week. Poor Thinner.
Yes, poor Thinner, yeah. That was it for January 23rd.
If anything, we like went the opposite way. We reversed Thinner and like padded everything into this.
Yes. All right, so January 30th, of course, the last week of the month tends to be the bigger week.
Yeah, this one's packed. Is this packed?
No, this one has a Silent Night Walmart exclusive steelbook. If you're still not enough out of Christmas horror yet, you can get one of those. And we're going to start things off with Degosser Video. I never heard of. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think they're new to our.
This one is Redneck Zombies from 1989, or as I called it, North Carolina the movie. A barrel of radioactive waste is lost out in the woods. Some demented rednecks find it and use it as part of their still. Everybody who drinks from the liquor they produce turns into a zombie. This one, this is a trauma. I think this is a trauma movie, right?
It is, but it like look. I just feel like something would bother me about this one. I've never seen it somehow, but I don't know. Just something about it looks like it's gonna really irk me. I don't know why.
I'll see enough demented rednecks in real life for living in this state, so I can say that I was born here.
Yes, Tim is allowed. He has not left, so it's not like he even I'm out of that place. I can make fun of it. No, he's still there. So
I'm still there, so you can't make fun of me.
Yeah, he's allowed to say whatever he wants. His birthright is there.
Yes, exactly. This one has some great special features. Newly transferred and restored from the best quality archival tape master. Presented in its fully uncut original director's edit with the following sound options. A brand new commentary track with producer Ed Bishop, director Pericles Loons. Wow, that's a name.
That's that shouldn't be a director. I'm sorry. He needs to be like a descendant of Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, Pericles Loons should be working in a library or winning a Nobel Prize.
He should be battling that inspector at Scotland Yard.
He should be a supernatural investigator.
Yeah. I love this guy. We gave him 9 new careers.
And he should be played by none other than, oh my God, I'm just completely blanking. Peter Cushing.
Yes,
he should be played by Peter Cushing. Lead actress Lisa M. DeHaven, an archival and commentary track with producer Ed Bishop and director Pericles Loons.
He's back.
I don't know. He sounds like an owl. He would if he was an animal, he'd be an owl, and he would be.
Oh, totally. That would be his patronum if he was a Harry Potter character. Actually, he could be in there too. I could see him being in that universe.
Pericles Loons. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he teaches defense against the dark arts.
Yes, totally. The ninth one that teaches that.
Yeah. A brand new critical commentary track with James Branscombe and Nick Vance of the Cinematic Void podcast, another podcast, and an isolated score, not jealous or bitter. Okay, so we have an alternate 20th anniversary edit of Redneck Zombies from 90 minutes. Sweet Redneck Memories, making of documentary from 2023 featuring interviews with the cast and crew. Unfinished archival making of documentary. Unfinished. So you get what they gave you.
Whatever's left.
Yes. Outtakes. A scene from Crabtown, USA, a 1986 local cable access show that was a precursor to Redneck Zombies. An in memoriam. Archival interviews with director Pericles Loons, producer Ed Bishop, associate producer William E. Benson, co-producer Bill Decker, set mother Sandy Bishop, composer Adrian Bond, actress Lisa M. DeHaven, actor Alex Loons. Oh, he put his son in there. Actor Bucky Santini. Miscellaneous crew Jeff McKinstry, actor Tyrone Taylor, and actor Martin J. Wolfman. Oh, that's a good horror. Yeah.
By the way, I looked him up as we were reading all this, and he does a lot of special effects for these films, but also he was an actor and a writer, but he was in Redneck Rob Zombies as an actor. He played Billy Bob Ellie Mae Clemson as Zoofeet. Whatever that means. Just to add to his lore of things, he is.
Has multiple trailers for original Troma, Transworld Entertainment, and reversible sleeve artwork. So that's a lot of extras for that movie.
Yes, I just
probably
looked
more
ahead,
than it deserves. But.
And I, for some reason, I forgot one of the. Oh no! You know what? Never mind. I didn't. Sorry. He's an actor. I thought I messed up on a film historian, but I did get him. Never mind.
Oh no, we got you. We got your film historian.
Yeah, I got him this time. I thought it got erased like last time. Okay. Next one, we got Kino Lorber and the Boogans. I remember
this one's on my list. I never see it.
Yeah, this was one of those like when I got cable in my room kind of thing. Was always on like the movie channel and stuff. It's from 1981. It says in a small town near Denver, two young men begin to explore a long abandoned old mine recently reopened by a group of miners. Well, duh, you think so? There's another one.
I bet you were digging this one too, right?
I was digging it. But see, that's another total Steve Martin, like, do you think so? If we ever get that, like, that Roadcaster thing, that's a sound effect we need to put in there to hit.
Yes. Oh,
by far.
For sure.
Like, well, probably like 95 things from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, but that's one of them. Whenever we do that, when one man is discovered missing, his friends begin a search that leads them to horrifying consequences. They are all unaware of the evil that's been unleashed, and soon, one by one, an unseen monster snatches up the town people. Suddenly, this grisly truth is revealed, and a young couple is forced to confront the unknown to save their lives. ... And the entire town. This one, Tim, you need to see if you haven't seen it. I remember I haven't seen this probably back since that time period, so I'm due for a rewatch on that too. So maybe we'll watch it together, Jim.
Yes.
Disc one. This is a 2-disc one. So the disc one is the 4K Blu-ray. It's got brand new 4K restoration from the original camera negative. It's got a new audio commentary by actor Jeff Harlan and film historian Howard S. Berger, and of course he's been a mainstay on the film historian collective, so to speak. He's the Boss Hogg character, a portly fellow, possible cigar, possibly British. which oh no, we summoned Tim's co-op. It's just the randomness of these.
Our British Boss Hogg just really like choked me up for there.
Yeah, that is definitely a character in some movie we need to put in there. Got too big for his britches though, and broke up the duo of himself and Steve Mitchell, who probably hasn't been mentioned in this since like 3 years ago. But after a few years, realized he was wrong and made amends and reunited with Steve, and they became film historians. He has a chain of burger joint restaurants called Burger's Burgers. If he teams up with anyone else, he changes from Southern to British, and Burger's Burgers becomes Burger's Brews Pub. Where did sometimes I don't even remember like the mindset that I had when I came up with these. But anyway, 2012 audio commentary by director James Conway, writer David O'Malley, and actress Rebecca Balding. Oh, why couldn't she be a film historian? Moderated by Jeff McKay. Disc 2 is a Blu-ray. It's got William Munns, the man who made the Boogans featurette. It's with Howard S. Berger and Boogans creature designer William Munns. Theatrical trailer, 2 TV spots, and a limited edition reversible art and O-card slipcase.
Very nice. All right, next up from Severn Films, we have The Psychic 4K from 1977. A clairvoyant woman, inspired by a vision, smashes open a section of wall in her husband's home and finds a skeleton behind it. Along with her psychiatrist, she seeks to find the truth about who the person was and who put her there. Soon enough, she starts to realize the possibility that she may share the victim's fate.
May I make a point on the wording of that? How, like, misogynistic is this description where the woman smashes open a section of wall in her husband's home? But is she not living there?
I know.
Or is she not allowed to call it her home too?
Not in the 70s, she wasn't.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I said, this is a time period issue.
Oh my
this is
God.
problematic to me.
The artwork for this one looked very familiar. It's like they stole it from something else.
It does. It probably was, because I know I've not seen this movie.
Yeah, Disc 1 is the 4K Blu-ray, 4K restoration of the film from the original camera negative and original trailer. Disc 2 is the regular Blu-ray, Doom and Gloom, interview with co-writer Dardano Sacchetti with contributions from director Lucio Fulci. Selected scene commentary with cinematographer. Oh, that's where I've seen it. It's a Lucio Fulci cover.
Yeah.
Selected scene commentary with cinematographer Sergio Salvati and Frikorama's Federico Cadio. Close-up on the eyes, audio interview with camera operator Franco Bruni. Elegant Ladies, audio interview with costume designer Massimo Lentini. Cutting Moments, audio interview with editor Bruno Micheli. Trailers. Disc 3 is another Blu-ray. Fulci Talks, 2021 documentary by Antoinetta Di Lillo, featuring an extended interview with Lucio Fulci. Sophisticated, interview with actress Ida Galli. Maker of his own fortune, interview with actor Gianni Garco. Not to be confused with Donnie Darko.
I was just going to say Gianni Darko. That's the Italian version of Donnie Darko.
I knew what you were going to say.
I know. That's like the Francis, what's her name? Francis, oh my God. The one from Gremlins, the mother.
Oh my God, yes, I know.
In the elevator, that
yes. one. In love with the movie set, interview with cinematographer Sergio Salvati. 7 Notes for a Trio, interview with soundtrack co-composer Fabio Frizzi. Lucky number 7, interview with soundtrack co-composer Franco Bixio. This is not doing anything for my voice. Oh
no.
My God.
What is Franco Bixio? Sounds like a cereal, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, they have new cinnamon Franco Bixios.
They do, yeah, with marshmallows.
Notes on a wall. Interview with soundtrack co-composer Vince Tempera. Which that sounds like a way to cook fish.
It does, right? Like, you know what? I'm tired of having it broiled. Let's do a little Vince Tempera.
Yeah. Can you put a little Vince Tempera on that salmon tonight, honey? Fritzy to Fulci, live studio session performance of The Psychic Suite. And Disc 4 is the CD soundtrack, plus
that's nice.
Limited edition slipcase and a booklet by Stephen Thrower.
He just is everywhere in our Dismemberment. And he's like it's like a 25% chance he's playing a film historian.
Yes. He was the author of Beyond Terror, The Limbs of Lucio. The Limbs. Why did I say the limbs? I'm going crazy. The films of Lucio Fulci. I've got severed limbs on the brain.
Yeah. Well, it is a horror podcast.
It is a horror podcast.
Yeah. Next one is our pick of the week, so we'll skip that. The next one we have is by Severin Films again, and that's Bad Biology 4K from 2008. Driven by biological excess, a young man and woman search for sexual fulfillment, unaware of each other's existence. Well, that's a short search then, I guess, if they go together, but they don't know they exist. Unfortunately, they eventually meet, and the bonding of these two very unusual human beings ends in an explosive and ultimately over-the-top sexual experience, resulting in a truly god-awful love story. Well, they're honest. With bizarre special effects by Gabe Bartolos, a hip-hop soundtrack from Prince Paul, and shot in the glorious 35mm, Bad Biology is guaranteed to shock even the most desensitized of audiences and sure to become a modern cult classic. Yeah, this is another what the hell in this one. I don't even understand this trailer, but this one's got a commentary with director Frank Henenlotter, director of photography Nick Deeg, and actor Anthony Sneed.
Sounds like a Dr. Seuss book.
It does, doesn't it? Like, oh my God, the Sneeds are everywhere. Archival commentary with director Frank Henenlotter and producer R.A. The Rugged Man Thorburn. Well, I got to tell you, that name, R.A. Thornburn, that deserves the Rugged Man moniker.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
You know,
he probably is very rugged.
Yeah, I bet he is. He's like that cut off plaid shirt like that Larry the Cable Guy wears. Like, and he's got the big
have like
beard,
the tatters on it. Yeah,
a big beard. He's got like tobacco like stains on the shirt. Yeah, he's a rugged man, I'm sure.
Skull ring in his jeans.
Oh, yeah, the whole thing. Yeah, that's a big boots, yeah. Spookhouse interviews with the crew and a retired detective. What?
Who shall not be named.
He has no name. It's just they grabbed him. He you know what? He's probably solved a lot of really important cases, and he can't give his name out because the victims are still
protection.
I mean, the criminals are still there, so he's just a retired detective. In the basement with Charlie Danielson. Not Charlie Daniels Band, you know, in case you're wondering. This is Charlie with 2 E's. A brief, completely off-kilter interview with the elusive Miss Danielson and a basketball.
Although, wouldn't it be great if they just put a random interview with Charlie Daniels on there? Like, nothing about the movie, he's just talking about the devil went down to Georgia.
But wait, this woman literally shows up in the basement. She's elusive, but they found her because she was in the basement, and she interviews her with a basketball?
I totally just missed that.
I know. What is this? Like, I have to buy this disc just to see her sitting there. Does she is it like Wilson? Did she draw a face on it? And because she's been trapped in the basement for so long, that's like her only salvation is to talk to this basketball? Or is she maybe secretly married to one of the Harlem Globetrotters? I don't know. I gotta find out more about this basketball. Oh God. This next one. This is something that Tim and I would make up. Deeg and Sneed. A conversation between Nick Deeg and Anthony Sneed.
Oh, this has some great feature names.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? This should have been pick of the week just from these special features alone. Deeg and Sneed, though. That sounds like the Salmon Twitch from Spawn. Remember? Swollen Agenda. Interview with makeup effects artist Gabe Bartolos. Beyond Bad. Beyond the scenes of bad biology. Fuckface.
That's a great feature. My favorite feature title.
Okay, can we call an audible? Make this the pick of the week now. Photographer Clay Patrick McBride runs around the director's apartment filming guys making their O-face.
Okay, we were so wrong. We were so wrong in our pick of the week.
Yeah, that may be the best feature ever. Because it's not like they're sitting in a chair and he's one by one coming in there. He's literally running around the apartment, it says.
Oh my God.
Oh, jeez. All right. It doesn't get any better, by the way, folks. Suck, a wonderfully twisted short film by Anthony Sneed.
Oh my God.
Legendary Loser, music video by R.A. The Rugged Man Thorburn. Tim, I think we need to have every one of these people that are still alive from this special features on the show. Image gallery, publicity pics, P-I-X, they spelled it. Behind the scenes shots, video cover arts, and death pics, because it's P-I-X. It's like that TV pics again, which you don't, right? You never got that. That was only a New York, New Jersey thing.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, did you ever look that up, though? Look on YouTube, and you'll see that. But, right, you knew what that was, right? TV pics. Did we ever tell you that, Cone and I?
I don't think so.
So, okay, I'll tell you real quick, because, I mean, at this point, this thing has gone so off the rails, why not, right? So TV Picks was a thing that would come on. It was these little segments in between, the cartoons that you got after school, usually from, 3 to, 6 p.m. And what it was is you'd call a phone number, okay? You'd go on and basically you'd be playing an Intellivision game. Someone would be controlling everything for you. And the reason why it was called TV Picks was because it was WPIX, which was Channel 11 in New York. So you'd be doing this, and the person on the phone would yell, Picks, Picks, Picks. And that would simulate the person having to fire. And it was always that Astro Smash game from Intellivision. And that was it. And it was but you'd get mesmerized by this thing for 5 minutes. It was these little intervals in between the TV shows. It was the weirdest thing ever. But at the same time, kind of ingenious because everyone wanted to be on this thing and call up just to yell Picks 1,000 times into your phone.
And the guy would push the button every time you said
yes,
Picks?
Every time you picked it. So it's funny because some people go Picks, 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 and you could tell they couldn't even go as fast as the people were shouting it.
Oh my God.
It was, but look it up. I bet you someone has it on YouTube. They have to.
That's weird.
Cone is probably the only one out of our group here that'll remember it other than me. But because I'm pretty sure it was just a local tri-state area channel that you could get.
I'm surprised Cone didn't get on it and have a front page headline about it.
And with him posing next to it,
yes,
like he did with
exactly.
his
If there was anybody that would be able to do that, it would be Cone.
Oh yeah, and but what the audience doesn't know, there's a famous article that when Cone worked for some company, they were doing an article on Black Friday ads, and this was back when you actually had the physical circulars. Now you pretty much only get them for I think pretty much just for like grocery stores. It seems like I don't think like Target used to have it, but this was like, and there's a famous picture of Cohn like laying on the floor with his like hands behind his head with this like big grin on his face, and like 100 ads are like on the floor, like he's laying on them, and and the company he worked for, I guess, just needed a model, I guess, for this photo ad, and they put it on. Next time he comes on, we'll have to have him tell the true full story of it. But yeah, so of course, in our little text feed, I had to have that introduced so everyone laughs at it. And the funniest thing is I took that picture and put it in like superimposed it in like a million other things. So it's like probably the most famous picture of Cohn ever. That's before he became his new alter ego, which we've yet to reveal on the podcast, I think. But that's only a text feed thing. But yeah, so we'll have to have him ask about TV pics and about his picture next time he's on.
Yes. Next up from Shout Factory, we have Funeral Home from 1980. A young woman arrives at her grandmother's house, which used to be a funeral home, to help her turn the place into a bed and breakfast inn. After they open, however, guests begin disappearing or turning up dead. The trailer quality was really bad on this one, but I kind of want to check this one out because it's the 1980s.
And I like the plot to it. That's a good twist.
Yeah.
It's better, and it's probably similar to like Dead and Breakfast, that or something like that movie. So I'm glad they just went with a generic. Like in the 80s, it was like, it's like movies were either horror movies were either a holiday or like a place,
Well, the best thing about this movie is it's packed with film historians.
Yes.
So this one has a new audio commentary with film historians Jason Pachonsky and Paul Karupi.
Yes, I did find some things on them. So Jason Pachonsky, Tim, before becoming an historian, was a competitive eater. He actually earned the name Jason Pachomsky when he once came within a bite of dethroning famed Nathan's hot dog eating champion Joey Chestnut in an exhibition match. It says rumors are circulating of a secret rematch that Jason won. So you got to think of that. Remember that like famous, because of course we haven't brought Rocky into the episode yet. Yes. That famous Balboa Creed secret fight that only they did. Like think that, and that's what you get with this storyline. So yeah, so it's like it's rumored though that Jason did win. So since it was private, it was never out in the public. It's not a stat. Then Paul Karup, he hated his name in school because whenever they called him last name first, like they tend to do in high school, it sounded like famed drag queen and television RuPaul. Because you say Karup Paul. So, yeah. Ironically, he did host a drag race, but the auto version, and they nicknamed him Paul Carroop. God help me. Oh boy, I'm sorry you have to put up with these, Tim.
Well, you have to put up with another one because we have a new isolated score selection and audio interview with music historian Douglas Fake.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him too. And he hosts a little scene movie trivia show called Real or Fake, where contestants would hear a description of a film and say whether it was an actual film plot or a made-up one. On a side note, he was dabbled in professional wrestling as Douglas the Barber Beef Fake. Cody's gonna like that one. I know she likes wrestling.
Do you remember what was that show?
I love when I crack myself up at these stupid things. Okay.
What was the show with Jonathan Frakes? And he did the like you had to guess which one of the stories was real and which ones the ones were fake. And he always had the shit-eating grin on his face the whole time he's telling you the stories. I was like, did you?
It was like the giveaway. You could see. Oh my God, what was that? That's right.
I remember that show. I used to love that show.
Oh, why didn't I put that in as the thing? I could have totally messed that up. Like he could have. He said he could have taken that over, but I guess mine was weird enough here. What is it now? Let me. I'm gonna look it up.
Look it up while I'm going through the rest of these.
Wow, he was in the Biltmore Christmas. I didn't know that.
New audio interviews. New audio interviews with actor Leslie Donaldson, first assistant director Ray Sager, and production assistant Shelley Allen. New Secrets and Shadows interview with director of photography Mark Irwin. New Dead and Breakfast interviews with art director Susan Longmire and set assistant Eleanor Galbraith. New family owned and operated interview with Brian Allen, president of Premier Drive-In Theaters. New original filming location footage, theatrical trailer, video trailer, TV spots, radio spots, and still gallery.
Yeah. I think I just pulled it up. I think it was Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction.
Yes, Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction. I love that.
Wait, that has 57 episodes. It went from 1998 to 2024. It's still going.
Oh, they must have done a reboot of it.
Yeah, there must be a reboot because it went, it was 97, 98, 99, and then skipped to 2002. Then it skipped 20 years, came back and in 2022, 2023, and it says there's new episodes coming, basically.
Oh,
I think.
I need to find where that's streaming.
You'll be very happy to know. Seasons 1 through 4 are on Plex and Peacock and Freevee and Pluto.
Oh, wow.
Wait, and Prime and Roku Channel and Tubi, of course. So he is everywhere. And
I love those.
So now you can catch that on Tubi. By the way, really off topic. You know what Tubi added? Conan and I are very excited. It added Chico and the Man. Remember that show?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they added that. That and Give Me a Break is on there now.
Give Me a Break. I love Great.
I know. I've been watching those. I've been watching those randomly when I have a little, about 20 minutes to a half hour, and I just need to put something on quick. I'll put on either Give Me the Break or Chico and the Man. I love both those shows. It's crazy.
Yeah, those are great.
Okay. Next. So we have Vinegar Syndrome. They're back. Of course, we can't have a Dismemberment without a Vinegar Syndrome in there. They technically should always be on there because they have those monthly releases. This is Fatal Games from 1984. A mad javelin thrower kills teenagers in the school. All promising athletes are executed in the most brutal ways, especially naked girls in dressing rooms or saunas.
Oh my.
Yeah, this is Olympic horror. I'm pretty sure I've seen this. This one seems like one that you probably always seem to catch on channels. But this one's got a newly scanned and restored in 4K from a 35mm dupe negative, commentary track with podcaster Bill Ackerman and author Amanda Reyes. So there wasn't enough that they took the film historian. Now they're trying to steal our podcasting gig.
Yes, exactly.
Well, who knows? Wouldn't it be funny if they had a segment on their podcast, featuring other podcast hosts, and they have a whole backstory made up of us?
Yes.
That'd be kind of interesting. The Winning Touch, an interview with actress Tracy Hellberg, formerly Lynn Banashek. That's a drastic name change.
Yes.
It's not even the last name change, the full name, not even close. Going for Gold, an interview with actor Sean Masterson. Death on the Staircase, an interview with actor Michael O'Leary. A Great Day at the Office, an interview with actress Melissa Prophet. It's the taking part that counts. That must be, was that a typo for talking or it's taking part?
No,
I don't know.
It's the taking part that counts.
Oh, I see. Yeah, okay. Yeah. An interview with actor Spice Williams Crosby. Cutting Gym Class. An interview with editor, associate producer Jonathan Braun. Ace. I guess he's from Ace. Archival artwork and behind-the-scenes photo gallery. Original The Killing Touch title card. Oh, I guess that was the original title of this.
Oh, The Killing Touch.
The Killing Touch, okay. Theatrical trailer and reversible sleeve artwork.
And we got another one from Vinegar Syndrome called The Black Room from 1983. A room gets put up for rent following the mysterious murder of its previous tenant. When an apartment-hunting man sees the deal the brother and sister landlords are offering, he immediately puts down the first month's rent and starts spending his days there, even though he has a home to spend his nights at with his wife. That's kind of a cumbersome sentence.
Yeah.
When he comes home, he tells his wife about the fantasies he has of having sex with various women each day in his new apartment.
That could bode well for a marriage.
Not the key to a happy marriage.
Yeah,
his wife
that's not good dinner talk,
No.
How's your day? Well, honestly, I've had several fantasies about other women.
In this new apartment that I'm in by myself. His
Yeah.
wife goes along with it for a while, but when she discovers that her husband's stories are much more than just fantasies, she starts to do some investigating. I bet she does.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on in this trailer. Newly scanned and restored in 4K from 35mm negative elements. The Other Side of the Mirror, an interview with director Ellie Kinner. Acting on Impulse, an interview with actor Jimmy Stathis. Getting Revenge, an interview with actress Claire Korff, formerly Clara Perryman.
What is with this?
What are these name switches?
And they're so drastically different.
Yeah. Blood and Black Room, an interview with special effects artist Mark Shostrom. Working their asses off, an interview with production assistant Lisa Cronin. If there's nothing you can say about this Dismemberment, the feature titles have been excellent.
Oh, this may be the best collection of feature titles in Dismemberment history.
Bodies of Work, Nightmare USA author Stephen Thrower on The Black Room and the career of its writer Norman Thaddeus Vane. Reversible sleeve artwork, Norman Thaddeus Vane. That sounds like another one that should be.
That's like a millionaire guy, like an evil millionaire,
like
Norman Thaddeus Vane says that he will going to evict everyone in town.
He sounds like a Batman supervillain, like his alter ego.
Yes, oh my god, that's
Norman
right. What would he
Vane.
become like though? What would he be?
Like the Weather Vane or something? Like,
oh my god, that'd be a great villain. Think about that. He can only head north, south, east, and west directly. Like there's no northeast, out that he's got to go in a straight line.
Yeah.
And then so Batman just has to stand diagonally from him and he can't hit him. Oh my God, what is wrong with us?
He's got a little hat with the rooster weather vane on top of it. I would love to see that. Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, that's right. And then his slogan would be, "I'm cocked and ready." Okay, I'm totally misreading this next one, by the way.
Summon
okay.
my cough again. Oh my
I'm
God.
sorry. It's worth you like not being able to speak for another 3 days after this one. Okay. Oh, we're done, right? Is that it?
Yeah, that's
okay.
it for that one.
Okay, this one, now I totally read this as VHS shitfest, but it's VHS
I think they did that totally on purpose, by the way.
100%, yes. Because they capitalized VHS and the H and then it fest. But according to us, it's VHS shitfest. Vial 21 from 1988. 98, sorry. When Dr. Walter Hall creates a drug that turns men into unstoppable beasts, the government will stop at nothing to get it. Forced by the pressure of authority, Dr. Hall injects John, an unsuspecting bum, and unleashes a terror into the community. Tim wrote, this looks like a 99-cent monster truck video you'd find at a gas station. Yeah,
am I not right?
Totally, and it's like those ones with the like not even the case. It's like the cardboard sleeve.
Yeah,
you know, that would like come as bonus features in other disc sets. You know, like that's that sleeve, those flat, and it's the ones that like every single gas station has.
Yes.
Like that's the only way you could get it.
Oh my God.
It's got brand new special edition cut transferred from the original master, original VHS cut, audio commentary by Mike Strain Jr., audio commentary by Ronnie Sorter. The Genetic Monster, The Making of Vial 21. Behind the Scenes, Bonus Film, Hotel of Terror. So there, you get two movies there. And Deleted Scenes.
All right, so that brings us to our pick of the week.
Finally.
Severin Films Nightmare 4K from 1981. If you haven't seen this movie, check it out. It's pretty crazy.
This one is
I watched this one for a horror challenge, I think, and it was like I was really taken aback by how like brutal and realistic it is. Mentally unbalanced patient George Tatum is released from a New York mental hospital, slums it up on sleazy 42nd Street, and then travels to Florida to terrorize an unsuspecting family.
So he stayed sleazy, apparently.
Yeah. Brutal, uncompromising, and graphic. This is one nightmare that you'll never forget. Originally released unrated to theaters during the height of the slasher craze in the early 1980s, the slasher splatter classic has garnered a huge cult horror fan base in the years since. Definitely worth checking this one out, guys. It's pretty crazy. Just what is the 4K Blu-ray? New 4K restoration of the most complete version of the film. Audio commentary with star Baird Stafford and special effects assistant Cleve Hall, moderated by Lee Christian and David Decato.
Oh, remember him?
Yeah.
Do we say his name right?
No,
like someone corrected
not.
us, right? Was it David Weiner corrected us? Someone corrected us how to say David Decato or something. I don't know how.
I don't know if Decato is the right name or what we were calling him before. I don't know. So sorry, we're screwing up his name again. Audio commentary with producer William Paul. Trailers. Disc 2 is a Blu-ray. Audio commentary with producer William Paul. Kill Thy Father and Thy Mother. Interview with director Romano Scavallini. Dreaming Up a Nightmare. Cast and crew interviews. The Nightmare of Nightmare. Interview with erroneously credited special effects director Tom Savini.
He is never erroneously credited.
Did they erroneously credit him as Tom Salvini?
That would make sense.
Yes.
But Tom Savini, as far as I'm concerned, any movie with special effects should have him on it as like an inspiration.
Yeah. The Stuff That Nightmares Are Made Of. Interview with makeup artist Robin Stevens. A Nightmare on Many Streets. Locations tour with Rue Morgue writer Michael Gingold. Oh, he's another hit.
Yeah. Oh, and that's where he comes from. I guess Rue Morgue he writes
from.
I don't think I ever caught that. Okay.
Open map peep show sequence. Deleted scenes, still gallery and trailers. And disc 3 is a Blu-ray. Damaged. The Very British Obscenity. David Hamilton Grant. Rare David Hamilton Grant production short film The Office Party. Another short film Under the Bed. Another short film, You're Driving Me Crazy, and the last short film, Escape to Intiby. Limited edition slipcover and a booklet by Mundo Digital's Nathaniel Thompson.
Yeah, look who's like this is like the gamut of film historians that weren't becoming film historians.
Moonlighting as other things, yes.
Yeah.
To recap the week of January 30th, we had Redneck Zombies from 1989, The Boogans from 81, The Psychic 4K from 77. Bad Biology 4K from 2008, Funeral Home from 1980, Fatal Games from 1984, The Black Room from 1983, Vial 21 from 1998, and our pick of the week, Nightmare 4K from 1981. Definitely recommend checking that one out. My voice is completely shot.
Yeah, but it kind of was worth it, though.
It was kind of worth it. Yeah, this was a good Discmemberment, I think. A good return to form. And like we said, we will be back with our premiere of Season 8. That's going to be a kind of a New Year's episode, an upcoming 2024 releases episode. We'll have our Ghostradamus predictions, and we'll see how we did from last year. I haven't even looked at them, so I don't even know how good we were.
Spoiler alert for me, not well for me.
Probably not me either.
Actually, I think you might have. I don't know. I got to look again, but you might be 50-50, honestly.
Oh, that'd be good. 50-50 is pretty good. So,
but again, it was a quick pass through. So, and there is some debate about. We may have to bring on. I know it might be tough for Emily. She's got a really crazy schedule the next few weeks. We may have to bring Conan Ken on at least, though, to get some arbitrary judge rulings on some.
Yeah. So we got some great interviews lined up. We got a good start to Season 8. I'm looking forward to it. And we'll see you guys then. And, well, of course, next month we'll be back with our February Dismemberment.
Yes, and so again, we should probably say, just want to apologize for our extended delay, but it will be worth it because we do have a lot of stuff coming up already. We have, I think, at least 3 or 4 interviews already kind of in the works. That'll happen. We have some cool special episodes. We have a couple of plans, really good things for this year, I think. And I think we want to do repeat some of the stuff. Like we want to have do some more roundtables, especially a roundtable for once the Fangoria Chainsaw Awards are announced. I thought that was fun. Hopefully we'll try and keep it under 4 hours because that was brutal. And now it wouldn't be so bad for me, but because I'll be on the West Coast time. But when I was East Coast, that thing ended at 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
I think Emily was the only one that could still go on with her life after that. But yeah, so we'll try and make it a much more succinct thing. And yeah, so we got a lot of cool stuff coming up. Hopefully we'll revamp our store a little bit with the new logo, get some of that stuff going, and we'll do more watch parties, because the watch party with Jeff Whitmire was really fun. We'll do some more things like that. Hopefully kind of upgrade our technology things to maybe get some more video things out there on YouTube.
Yeah, I would like to definitely do some more video this year. I think we were well overdue for that. So
yeah, well, if I get I haven't got my new computer yet because I realized right before I was going to get it. Thankfully, I double checked again, and the newer model just had come out. So I'm going to wait and kind of monitor that one to see when it gets to a decent price, and I'm going to jump on it then. Because you can't get a computer that's already replaced. It's always bad news. But yeah, so thanks for understanding. So it'll be well worth it though, because we did just because we were on the break. We did work on plans for the upcoming season. We just didn't record anything. So
yeah, so we got a lot of good stuff coming. All right, guys, we'll see you back here soon.
See ya.